that. So I'm going to see if I can find, because it's hard to find these things. You have to go look for them and it doesn't have the name. So you have to know what the picture is. I'd rather have the name. So I go to list view. Now I get this nice list and it's in alphabetical order so I can find things very easily. So I suggest that you change it to list view instead of the grid view, unless you love the grid view. I don't. And of course, the how do you get to the settings on the phone? Well, you go to your home screen and you find settings, which is this little thing right here. You can see my little cursor moving here, and where it says watch. And when you tap on watch, that's the settings for the watch. And then you can go in and do everything there instead of on the watch itself. You can do it on the phone. It's a lot easier to handle that. So my answer is do it on the phone unless you have to do it on the watch. Okay, someone said that they're especially interested in the heart rate monitoring and how to use it. So you have to be able to turn it on. It might be on by default, and but if it isn't on by default, you would go to Apple Watch settings, privacy, health, and then you get one of these three different options. You can turn on any of these three options. I have them all turned on. So the headphone audio levels, it'll keep track of if your audio levels in your headphones is too loud and keep track of that for you, so you know if you've been exposed to too much noise. This does your heart rate, and it does it automatically about every 6 minutes. So probably ever since you bought your watch, it's been taking your heart rate and storing it in the health app, and you didn't even know it. And if you have the latest watch, the iPhone Series 6, not iPhone, Apple Watch Series 6, you have blood oxygen levels being monitored, but your arm has to be sort of in a horizontal position. It tries to do it throughout the day, but if your arm is not in the right position, it'll abandon the measurement. So if you go to your health app on your phone, here's mine right here, health app, I'm going to tap it. Okay, and down at the bottom, you'll notice here it says summary, and you can customize the summary to put anything you want in this list, and you can customize it by tapping the edit button up here. And if you tap that edit button, you can then select which things are in this list. The ones that have the highlighted star, the dark blue, are the ones in the list, and the ones that aren't are not in the list. So you can customize this list. And then you notice I have, in my list, I have blood oxygen, cardio fitness, below average. Oh, that's not good. Electrocardiograms. Anytime I take an electrocardiogram, now that doesn't take electrocardiograms automatically. You have to do it manually because you have to hold your finger on the digital crown. But it will take your EKG or ECG anytime you want. There's the sound level, flights climbed. I wasn't wearing the watch because it was in the stand, so it wasn't counting my flights today. Hand washing, not doing too well, only 5-second averages. It's keeping track that you do a good 20-second COVID style hand wash, and it does it automatically. Your Apple Watch, if you have a Apple Watch Series 4 or newer, it will keep track of hand washing for you, and it starts automatically. You don't have to even be aware of it, but once you start washing your hands, it knows that you're washing your hands because it hears the water. It notices the motion of your hands, and it also hears the soap bubbles. So it's looking at all those things and deciding that you're washing your hands. And then it has a little countdown. It counts down from 20. And it's kind of a funky little screen because it's a picture of bubbles instead of the regular countdown. So it counts down in little bubbles type font. It's kind of kinky. Heart rate. So your watch has been taking your heart rate ever since you got it. And if you tap on that, you can see all your heart rate data going back to, since you got your watch. So if I have to find it, show all, okay, it'll show all my heart rate data and show all highlights. You can explore this and find out all the things you can do, show more heart rate data, latest, and so on. So, and you can see weekly, monthly, yearly, what your averages are. So it's been doing this ever since you had your phone. And it's also been counting your steps and your walking distance and how many flights of steps you crawl up and down or climb up and down. I hope you don't crawl, climb up and down. And your phone's been doing that. Even if you don't have your watch on, your phone has been keeping track of how many steps you take, assuming you have your phone on you when you're walking around the house or walking anywhere. Keeps track of your steps, how far you've walked in distance based on your stride, and how many flights of steps you've gone up and down a day. And you can then keep track of that. Where's my, I don't know why it's not showing my flights of steps. It did it one time, didn't it? It was here. I'm looking for, oh, there it is, flights, climbs. Okay, so if I go for weekly, monthly, yearly, you can see how many flights you climb. And if you look at yours, you'll probably find that you've been tracking your data, or your phone's been doing it for you, and you may not even known it, that it's doing it. But if it hasn't done it, you can enable this by going in the watch settings. Here you can either go to the watch itself and go to privacy, health, and turn on these three switches, or you can go to the watch app on the phone, privacy, and turn on these three settings as well. So if I did it on the watch itself, if I go here and hit settings, go up to settings, and then that's the wrong one. Settings, privacy, somewhere. Privacy. What did they say it was? Privacy, health. Okay, so you see heart rate is turned on, blood oxygen measurements are turned on, headphone levels are turned on, and I could turn them off or on by tapping on each one of these and then throwing the little switch, turning it on and off. So you can do that, or you can do it on the phone itself by going to the watch settings and go to privacy, health, and heart rate. And you see here I have heart rate, fitness tracking, and headphone measurements, blood oxygen levels, and so on. So you can do it either way, on the watch or on the phone. Okay, moving along. I have an Apple Watch 3, so I don't think I have blood oxygen or EKG, ECG. That is correct. You do not if you have an Apple Watch 3. Now I have a list. Let me see if I can find it for you and show you. This is it's a one-page compendium that I made, and it shows all the Apple Watch models. On the top, it says series, the first generation, which is Series 0, before they started calling them series. And then the Series 1, Series 2, and so on, all the way to Series 6. And you can see here are all the different features, and then here which watches have which features. So if you wanted to know which watch had which feature, you can look at this chart. This chart is on my website, jakeair.weebly.com. If you have the handout, it should have my information on it, does it? Maybe not. But it's jakeair.weebly.com. Go to that and find iPhone classes, and then at the very bottom you'll see a link to this table, and then in this table you can figure out which features you have on your watch by model number or series number. If you don't know what series number you have, if you go to the bottom of this chart, you'll see that there's a 4-digit series or model number. If you look up the model number of your watch, how do you do that? So if you go to the watch app and go to General and About, you'll notice about, oh, here it says model number, but the model number is this funny not model number. If you tap it once, you notice it turned to an A number and 4 digits. So if you go to my little chart here that I showed you at the bottom of the little chart, I have a chart that shows you if you can find that A number, then you can look it up and see what series you have. So it doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't say on the watch itself what series it is, but it gives you this A number with 4 digits, and then you have to look that up and then go up and find, oh, you see, I have a series 6, and then you go up to series 6 and say, okay, I've got all these features here. And that's how that works. So you can go to my website and find that, or email me and I'll send it to you. Okay, I'm not sure what hand washing is. I think I talked about that. The watch will automatically sense when you're washing your hands. You do have to turn it on, perhaps, if it's not on. And you go to settings, hand washing, and then hand washing timer and turn it on. And if you do that, then unobtrusively, anytime you wash your hands, it will keep track of that for you and make a note of it, and then keep track of it in the health app so you can see how well you're doing. Are you doing the full 20-second washes? Now, I don't always do 20-second washes, to be honest, because I figure I'm not always exposed to COVID around the house. But if I go outside or interact with anybody outside, you can best believe that I do a full 20-second COVID wash, and my watch automatically keeps track of it. And I can always glance at the screen and see how many seconds I have left to go. Okay. I'm zipping right along here, so I'm probably going to have a lot of time for your questions. Someone says, I don't know how to take a screenshot. Okay, a screenshot is to take a picture of what's on your phone's and watch's screen. Now, you might know how to do it on your phone by holding the home button and the side button, or holding the volume up button and the side button simultaneously and take a snapshot of your phone. But if you want to take a snapshot of your watch screen, so let's say I want to take a picture of, let's find a nice funky watch screen. Oh, there's one. It's got a picture of Jake, and every time I tap it, it makes a different funny face. Isn't that cute? So let's say I wanted to take a screenshot of that. If I press both the digital crown and the side button simultaneously, I need 2 fingers here, so I'm going to press these 2 buttons simultaneously. Watch what happens to the screen. Kind of flashes. Now, if I go to my photos, go to the very last photo, or the most recent, there is the screenshot. So I actually did capture that copy of my screen. And here you see, I have some previous ones that I captured. Sometimes when I want to modify one of the screens, I take a screenshot before I modify it. So in case I screw it up, I can go back and see what was that screen look like? What did that screen look like before I screwed it all up? So that's kind of helpful. So to take a screenshot, and then you can take that and it goes into your phone, and then you can email it to somebody or do it whatever you want, print it, post it on the web. Maybe you come up with a really funky screen. Like here's an interesting screen that you can put on, and every time you tap it, it'll change. This is called the artistic, I think. Every time you tap it, it changes the picture. I tap it again. It's sort of so every time I tap it, it modifies. So if you like to play with things like this, and it's showing the time as 10:24, doesn't have any complications, but it has all kinds of strange things. So if I wanted to take a snapshot of that, I could. Okay. Somebody said, how do you access Siri? Okay, so you want to go into settings and turn Siri on, and you have three options. You can turn any or all of these on or off. You can listen for Siri, and then just say to your phone or say to your watch, hey Siri. And I'm afraid if I do that, yeah, see, as soon as I did it, my phone reacts to it now. Okay. So I have to say, hey Sally. I'm going to say, hey Sally, instead of hey, you know what, because then my phone won't respond. So you can listen, have the watch listen for the hey Sally, or you can just turn on raise to speak, and all you have to do is raise your watch up to your mouth and speak. You don't have to say hey Sally. You can just say set the timer for 10 minutes without saying hey Sally, and the watch will Sally will kick in and do whatever you ask it. And the other thing is, if you hold the digital crown over here, okay, you can. I
didn't get that. Could you try again?
Okay, she didn't get that. So if I on the watch face, if I just hold the digital crown, now what time is it, Siri?
It's 10:26 a.m.
That's kind of a stupid question to ask a watch, isn't it? I could ask it something more interesting, like, what is the temperature in Kathmandu?
In Kathmandu, Nepal, it's 48 degrees.
Okay. So you got the idea. And I should be able to just lift the watch up to my mouth and do the same thing, but I'm not wearing it on my wrist, so I can't demonstrate that. Okay, someone says, I don't know exactly what the dock is. I mentioned the dock in the email that I sent out. And the dock is a place where you can put up to, I think, 10 apps that you want to get to quickly. And the way you do that is you would just tap the side button down here, the one below the digital crown or the one next to the digital crown. If I tap that once, we'll have to get back to the watch face. Let me get to do a good watch face. Okay, if I tap that once, it takes me to my dock, and the dock has my most recent app at the top, and then other apps that I may have used recently. I'm sorry, these are the ones that I selected to be in the dock. So you can select either the most recent apps or the ones that you choose to be in the dock. So if you want to get at them quickly, but maybe there is no complication for it, or you want to get to it even though you have a complication. So I have the news app and the Lutron app, which is an outside app. And you can always go down here at the bottom and tap all apps, and it'll take you to that normal listing. So the way you would do this, I don't know if you can get at it from, I don't think you can get at it from the settings on the watch. I think you have to go to settings on the phone. So if I go to settings on the phone and go to the watch settings, what happened to my little, oh, there it is. Okay, so if I go to watch settings over here, and here it says dock. Okay, if I tap on dock, now I can select the ones that I want. You notice I have news and Lutron, like I said, and these are all the ones that are not in my dock. But if I wanted to add one of them to my dock, I could find something that I wanted to put into the dock. And like maybe I want to put Shazam into the dock. So I will tap edit, and then I will hit the plus button over here. And now it removed it from this list, but it put it up here in the dock list. So there is Shazam added to this. I can change the order by, get this out of the way, by putting my finger on these little hamburger symbols. I call them hamburger symbols. And then if I put my finger on there, I can drag and change the order. So now the order on the watch would be news, Shazam, and Lutron. So let's see if that worked. So if I go over here and hit the dock button again down at the bottom, okay, News, Shazam, and Lutron. Okay, so you can customize your dock yourself, and you can put some apps in there that you maybe don't have complications for, or you just the ones you want to use the most. And every time mail comes in, it shows up on my phone. Okay, so that is what the dock is. It's something that lets you get at up to 10 apps quickly without having to scroll through all of them. However, the best way to get to apps, of course, is to use all of these complications that you can put on various watch faces. And some watch faces will allow you to have more complications than others. This particular watch face has many complications, 8. And as I said, some of them only allow you to have 2, 1. This one has 4. The solar watch face, this one has 4. Actually, it has 5 because it has the date here, the 13th. So this actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of them was the timer. By the way, if you're in any app and you want to get back to the watch, you just hit the digital crown over here on the right. So there's the watch face. So if I tap on the timer, it takes me right away to the timer app. Hit the digital crown, get back to the watch. This watch face has 4. This watch face has 1, 2, and a big one here. And this one happens to be the decibel meter. What do they call that? I think I forgot what it's called, but it's it lets you keep track of sound levels. And I forgot what it's called. Noise. It's called the noise app. So you notice as I am talking, it's going up and down, measuring the decibel level of my voice. So if someone's out there with their lawn or their leaf blower and it's too loud and you want to show them how loud it is, you just walk over and, well, of course, you want to socially distance right now, but you walk over them with your mask on and point to your watch and say, see, you're up to 120 decibels, which is above the sound of a jet engine. Please turn off your blower. So this one has 1, 2, 3 complications. This one has no complications, but this is a fun watch face, by the way, because it's the one that's the kaleidoscope. And as the time goes by, you'll see it slowly changing. See, slowly changing. See the corners, how they're getting bigger. But if you're in a hurry and you want to see it change quicker, you just turn the digital crown, and then you can get all kinds of pretty patterns and pictures. And you can base the kaleidoscope on a photograph that you have on your phone or on your watch. And this is customized from some drawing or picture I had, and because I like the colors in it, so it keeps those colors. And well, what other watch face do I have? Okay, there's one that has 3 of my grandchildren silhouetted, yelling, screaming, whatever. And it has 3 complications. It has down here, it has the temperature, the time, of course, and date. So you can customize all these things. And I would, oh, there's the stripes. There's no complications in this version of it. That's an interesting watch face as well. So you can create all these different watch faces and then change them depending on your mood. This is the one I use normally, but right next to it is the one that I use when I go to bed, because in the middle of the night I wake up and I want to make a note. So I'll tap on the reminders and write a note in the Notes app. And I can create a note right there on the watch by just tapping on it and then going down where it says new, add a reminder, and then here's the scribble, and I say, you can call it note, N-O-T-E, and when I'm done, I hit the done button, or I can keep writing, hit the, not, well, I can scroll up here. Once I put a word in, I can scroll the digital crown and find the exact word I want. So there's note, Go back and do note, space. I didn't want to. Note is, didn't say is, so I'll do I period is space good. And if I scroll through, I can find other words that start with GOO, including a emoji. Note is good, tap done. Okay, and now it added the note is good right here. And so in the middle of the night, if I think of something and I don't want to get my phone out, wake my wife up, she gets really angry if I do that. I can do this rather quietly and without making a lot of light or a lot of motion, and make a note. So I have other things on here. As I said, I control the lights, I control the alarm. This is my nighttime watch face. Now, if I go over here, this is my daytime utility face, where I have messages, email, exercise. Over here is the timer. Here are all my alarms. I might mention something about alarms. You can put as many alarms as you want, and you can leave them in there. There's no reason you have to get rid of them. So I have a lot of alarms, but many of them are turned off because I don't have them active. But sometimes I want to make it active. Like I have an alarm. Sometimes I had something to do Thursday mornings, so I would tap on and turn this one on so that it would wake me up on 7 o'clock on Thursday morning. Here's my yoga. I haven't been using that for a long time because we haven't been going to yoga. But if I wanted to, this one goes off at Wednesdays and Fridays. You see it says Wednesdays and Fridays. Repeat, Wednesday and Friday, tap on that. I can set the days that it goes off. It goes off Wednesday and Friday for the Wednesday and Friday yoga class. And that's that. Now I think that may have set it, so I have to go back here and no, I left it off. But if I wanted to turn it on, I would just tap on that, and now I've enabled that one for the yoga classes. But since we're not going to JCC lately, we're going to turn it off. And other things you can put in here and turn them on and off as you need them. So you can have as many alarms as you want and turn them on and off as you need it. The timer is nice because you tap a little timer and you can set it for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or custom times down here. And this is the last 3 times that I had it set for, or custom time. And you can always ask Sally, you know what I'm talking about when I say Sally, you can always ask Sally to do it for you. This one has, this is a different version of the Noise app. This one is an app that I purchased that tells me the tides. And a lot of these complications, they don't just show you something, but if you tap it, it opens it up to a much more detailed view. So if I tap on the tides, then it'll show me the tides list, and sometimes it even draws a picture. There it is. So I can see the high tide, the low tide, and so on. And this is set for Newport Beach Bay Harbor. But if I live somewhere else in Seattle or something, I can set it for Seattle or wherever you happen to live. So that takes it right off of the phone. What other? This is the altimeter. This is the compass. And the compass actually does tell you what direction you're facing. So if I turn this and you turn that, you notice that it is keeping track of which way is north. Although here it's not working real well because of all the metal around here. It's probably not really picking up the Earth's magnetic field properly. You have to be sort of out in the open, not right next to a computer. Okay, so I've diverged from our list here. Let's go back. Okay, how do you access the timer or stopwatch? Well, I just showed you. No, I didn't. Okay, so let's go to, I showed you the timer and alarm, but if you want, well, that's the timer. You can either set a complication or go into the apps and find timer. It takes you to the same place. Okay, and also you can go up to the top and find alarms, but I like to have the complications, a lot easier. But someone said stopwatch. Okay, so we can scroll down and find the stopwatch. Click on the stopwatch, and now you have three different kinds of stopwatches. You've got the analog stopwatch, tap it, you get a digital stopwatch, tap it again, and you get a sort of a hybrid stopwatch. So if I start it, you can see, oh, you can't see anything because I'm not showing you. Okay, so I got to do that all over again. Stop. Okay, so let me reset it. Here's the stopwatch. How did I get there? I went to stopwatch in the settings, not settings, in the apps. I found it. Or I could have a complication on one of my watch faces. So I can hit the stopwatch and then I start it. Every time I tap it, it'll change it to one of three different kind of stopwatches. Hit the start button and it starts timing. You can see the hands going. If I tap it again, it takes me to the digital one. If I tap it again, it takes me to the analog one. So you can, and you can also do laps by tapping on the white button here. And now you notice it spawned a new second hand here that's for the second lap. If I tap it again, it'll do it again. I'll go to the digital one. It gives me a chart, and this one also gives me a chart down here at the bottom. You can see each lap time. So I can stop it and then reset it. So that's how you get and use the stopwatch. You can have fun playing with that. And as I said, I could make that into a complication on one of my watch faces. And so instead of Shazam, for example, I could make it into a, I could put the stopwatch there. So let's do that. Let's just see how to do that. So I'm going to go to the watch app here. Here it is. You go to the watch app, and you notice down at the bottom it says My Watch. Now this is the watch gallery. This is the gallery of all the watches that you can have. It's like a face store. If I tap on that, oops, I didn't do the right thing. Tap on that. It gives me a list of all the available watch faces I can put on. Okay, it has nothing to do with the ones I have on my watch. These are the ones that are available in the gallery, if you will. So this is like going into an art gallery and looking for ones you want. And then here's some examples of each kind showing you various versions of it, but you can customize each one to whatever you want. Okay, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in modifying a watch that I already have. So I'm going to go over here, watch face. So I'm going to go over here to My Watch, and then up here are all my watch faces. And so I'll go to the one here, and here's the one that had the Shazam in the upper right corner, right up here, you can see. So I'm going to tap on that, and now it lets me edit it. So now I can edit this watch face. I can change the color by tapping these little circles up here. I can change the complication. So here you notice I have the Shazam complication. So I'm going to, and it says top right. So it shows me it's the top right complication. I'm going to tap on Shazam, and let's change it to stopwatch. Stopwatch. Okay, so now instead of Shazam up there, you notice it has the stopwatch. Well, let's see if that's true. Let's go to the actual watch itself. And let's see, there is, that wasn't the right one. That wasn't. Oh yeah, okay, there it is. And you notice now it's no longer Shazam. I didn't want to change this color here, but I'll go back and fix that. So it's no longer Shazam, it's the stopwatch. So if I tap on that, now it's the stopwatch. And interestingly enough, if I go back to the watch itself, if you look real carefully, you can see that it's actually showing the time on the stopwatch itself, on the watch face. So even though I'm not seeing the stopwatch app, I'm seeing the actual time ticking by on it. So, oops, let me go here and open it up again, stop it, reset it. And now I'm going to go back to this and change it to that, and I want to change the stopwatch. Where did it go? I want to change that back to Shazam. Bam, Shazam. Thank you, Ben. Okay, so if I go back to that watch face now, the color is back to black, and up in the upper right corner, the color is black, and the upper right corner is Shazam again. So that's how you customize your watch faces. Okay, someone asked, I'm wondering how much can I access on my watch if I don't have it connected to my Verizon account? Well, the only people that have it connected to a Verizon account or an AT&T account or whatever is if you have a cellular Apple Watch. Now, I don't have a cellular Apple Watch, so I have to rely on Wi-Fi. So, but if I didn't have Wi-Fi or my phone nearby, there's still all these things here that on this list that I can still do with my watch, even though it is not online, it's not connected to the internet. So you can see that I can do activities, alarms, altimeter, Apple Pay. Apple Pay is built in, so it doesn't need your phone. So you can actually pay with your watch, even though your phone is still at home. Once I left my phone at home and I went to Trader Joe's and I wanted to buy something, and I said, oh shoot, I don't have any money and I don't have my phone for Apple Pay. And then I remembered, oh, I can do it on my watch. And sure enough, I did it on my watch. All these other apps that you see listed here, you can do without being connected. If you are connected to the internet via Wi-Fi or cellular, then you can add all these other things that are on this list. And if you want, I can send you this list. I may send you this whole list because I have some of these answers in here. So there are a lot of things you can do with your phone, with your watch without being online or on Wi-Fi or on the internet. And that's this first list here. And you can see you can do photos. You can use the Breathe app, which gives you breathing exercises. That's kind of a fun one. Blood oxygen, compass, cycle tracking for menstrual cycle tracking, display photos, ECG measurements, heart rate monitoring, play music. You can actually download music and put it in your watch. And then if you have Bluetooth enabled earbuds of some kind, you can be walking around without your phone and listen to music or podcasts. Of course, the stopwatch, you can always tell time, the timer, voice memos, and so on. I would like a review of what the two buttons on the right side control. I would refer you to my handout. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the handbook, I call it, that was included in the email I sent out, and you should be able to download and print this. It's 8 pages. The very first page shows you a compendium of all the things that the buttons on the right side of the watch do. So rather than my going through it one at a time and putting everybody to sleep if you're not already asleep, I will just refer you to this, and then you can just play with it at your own convenience and verify that everything I said here, or at least most things I said here, are true. If you have a specific question afterwards, I can cover it. How do I change the goal settings for activities on the watch? Okay, so you would open the activity app on the watch and then swipe up and hit change goals, and you can change the move goal, the exercise goal, and the stand goal. So you would do this by going to the activity app. The activity app, way at the top. Okay, tap on that, and there it shows you how well you've closed your goals. And then if you go all the way to the bottom, it says change the goals, and then you can change the goals for the move goal. You can change it for the exercise goal, and you can change it for the stand goal. Okay, so and also you can get weekly summaries of all these things, and do that all from your watch or your phone as well. So here you can see how well you've done in your exercise goals and so on for the day. Or on the watch, you can see it for the week or for the month or whatever. Okay. I use my phone for Apple Pay. How do I use it on the watch? Okay, so the way you use it on the watch is you walk up to the counters and the point of sale terminal, and then you double tap on the lower button here, the side button. If you double tap on the side button, oops, no, I have to enter the passcode because let me go back here. Oops. Okay, double tap to pay. So if I double tap, it says to double tap. You see it says double click to pay. So if I double click to pay, it'll pay with that card, or I can select a different card to pay with. Then I just hold my watch to the point of sale terminal, just like you hold your phone. So the trick is just to double tap, put in your passcode. You know, the reason I have to put in my passcode is because I'm not wearing the watch. If I was wearing the watch, I wouldn't have to do that. But I disabled that it's on my wrist just for this demonstration. And also my passcode for this demonstration is 3333 because it's very easy to enter, but that's not the passcode I normally use. I have a more difficult password to figure out. But for purposes of this class, I didn't want to sit here and type in an elaborate password, so I just made it 3333 because it's easy. It's the upper right corner. Anyway, so I just select the credit card that I want to use, and then hold the thing near the reader. She says hold near reader, and you'll feel a little tap on your wrist, and the transaction is complete. So in order to enable this, you go to the watch app on your phone and go to My Watch, Wallet, and Apple Pay. So you're going to go to down here is My Watch. You're going to find Apple Pay, or you might say it says Wallet and Apple Pay, and then you can add a card. So you can add any card you want. So here's some cards that are on my phone that are not on the watch. So if I wanted to add one of these, I could tap either one of these and it would add it to the watch. I have to put in the CVC number, which I don't have the card right here, so I can't do that and demonstrate it. But I can add a card. You can have your cash card here, which means you can pay from your bank account or from your Apple account, or any one of these cards. And you can set a default somewhere, I think. Yeah, default card here. You set the default, just like you can on your phone. So you would go do this on your watch app on the phone, set that up for your watch, and you're good to go. Okay, someone asked about notifications between the Apple Watch and the iPhone and iPad. So you can go to the settings on your for your watch and tell it to either mirror the notifications as you set them on the phone, or you can customize it for the watch. You have your choice for each different app. And so you would go to the watch app, notifications, mirror my phone, and then for each app you can select which ones you want to do. Someone asked about mass deletion of text messaging. Yeah, if you delete a message from your iPhone, it doesn't delete it from the watch, and if you delete it from the watch, it does not delete it from the phone. So you basically have to do them separately. That's just the way it works. Some people complain about that. They say you have to do double work. Yeah, you do, but I guess that makes it safer. You don't delete something inadvertently. Hand washing, we talked about. Close the activity rings. I showed that. Okay, I recently began an exercise program of 5,000 steps per day. Can the Apple Watch help? And as I said, it's been keeping track of your steps since you bought the phone and bought the watch. So you may just, you didn't know it, but there it is. But also, if you're doing exercise. For instance, every morning I get on either the treadmill or the elliptical walker. So I go here to my this watch face, and there's the app for exercise. So I tap on that, and then I select either the elliptical. Well, I didn't close this out, so I'm gonna hit done. Okay, so the ones that you use the most show up at the top of the list automatically. So I use the elliptical, the indoor walk, and then the outdoor walk in some order. So if I was going to work on the treadmill, I would do the indoor walk, and if I would do the elliptical, I'd do the elliptical. If I tap on that, it gives me a 3-second countdown, and then it starts the exercise, and it keeps track of my pulse rate and how far I've gone. If I'm in some place that I'm moving, the GPS will keep track. Now on the elliptical, it doesn't know how far I'm moving because I'm not moving. So it doesn't keep track of distance. But I can go here and then end it. And it was such a short thing that it knew that it wasn't real, so it didn't save it. Otherwise, it would give me a summary. So,
Jake,
yeah.
I want to interrupt because I'm going to have to get off this call.
Okay.
So what I did was all the questions came into me directly. So I copy pasted them into the chat to you directly.
Okay.
And then I asked people from now on to just send it to you directly because there were quite a few questions.
Okay. Let me see if I can see them on.
And I don't know. Yeah, I want to make sure you can see it.
I see some. Let's see. Chat. Okay, I got it. Okay, I have to
You
look
got
at
it.
Okay, I have one more that I have here. Could you please review answering the phone on the watch? If you look at page 8 of the handout, I cover that, or at least I show you. So if I go to page 8 of the handout, the very last page, it shows you at the top what the screen looks like when the phone rings, and you can either answer the phone or not, and then you have to play Dick Tracy by holding the watch up to your mouth and talk, and it comes out of the speaker. It doesn't come out of the earphones. So everybody can hear your conversation. I don't use that very much myself, but it is possible. Okay, let's see. How do I link my watch to the phone number that I bought for the watch? I don't have a cellular watch. I thought that the cellular watch would be the same number as your phone. If it's not, I don't know how to do that because it's not something I've done. I just assumed that when you added the phone number for your watch, it was the same phone number as your cell phone. If that's not the case, then I don't know. You'd have to call your carrier. How to make phone calls and send texts. By the way, I'm going to stick around beyond 11 o'clock. So those of you who want to stick around and hear the answers to my questions, I'll keep going. Assuming that she doesn't log me off here.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to make you the host.
Okay. Well, when you log on to yours, you're going to go on to someone else's account, right? So that you won't have to use this account.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. How do I make phone calls? Okay, so phone calls and texts is two different things. So if you're making a phone call, you would go to the phone app on here. Actually, there isn't a phone app. I think you go to contacts and do it that way. But I don't see contacts. Oh, find people. No, it's not find people. Or is there a phone? Oh, there it is. There's a phone. Okay, so you go to the phone app, and then you can, that's how you get the contact. So you can either use your favorites, select from your favorites, or your recents, or go to your contacts and search for everybody, and select whoever you want to call. And then, so if I want to go to favorites and call my home number, for example, it's calling my home number. Oops, it's an alarm. So it should be calling my home number. Let's see if it is. Look. Hello, it's me. I'm just testing. Sorry.
Oh.
Bye. Okay, so that worked. And then if I want to do text messaging, either I have the icon on, the complication on my watch face, or I go to messages in here and tap on that. Either one will take me to the same place. Then I can either look at all of my old messages and the message streams, or I can create a new message, and then you have to use the Scribble app. So if I tap on this and I hit the Scribble app, I already showed you how to use the Scribble app. You can use it for text messaging and email, or you can dictate using the microphone. That's another way to do it. Or you can put emoji in, or you can use Apple Pay and send somebody money. So you can do all kinds of things like that.